Good morning, everyone. My name is William Michael Forbes. I want to welcome you to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And today, the subject is Nothing Kills Love. This is a subject that I think requires a really sober awareness. My guardian angel, John, has come in with me today. He's been with me from the very first time I wanted to end my life when I was standing on a bridge when I was 20. And he told me not to jump. And he's come here today to say, listen, it's really important to understand that nothing kills love. And this is simple, a simple lesson. Nothing kills love. Not even fear can kill love. It can hide it. It can give you the illusion that it's not present, but nothing can ever kill love. Love is the essential nature of what you are as a being, as a consciousness. It is what you are. It is what you will always be. If you choose to reflect on who you think you are exclusively from the perspective of being just the collection of thoughts in your mind, or the conditions of your body, then you will miss the great treasure of your own awareness that is the gift you have to offer to this world. You, as awareness that can transcend all your thoughts, that can transcend all of your fears, that can transcend the conditions of this world, that you is what we want you to get in touch with. That you. That beautiful, wondrous you. And how do you get to that place where you might not feel that you are that essential quality of love? How do you get back to that? And how do you get back to it simply and easily, without struggle, without fear, without doubt? You learn to let them go. You learn to liberate your awareness. And it's important to make a distinction between your awareness and your thoughts and your body. When you can begin to make that distinction between your awareness, your thoughts, and your body, you open a crack in a cosmic door that allows light to come in. When you learn to make that distinction between your thoughts and your body, you will open a crack to let light into your awareness. That crack of light is a place where you can actually begin to see everything that you have not seen. Whereas your thoughts and your beliefs and your ideas that you have acquired from this world, most of which are false, those things limit, impede, and impair you from being free and alive. That distinction between emotion and awareness, that distinction between thought and awareness, that distinction between body and awareness, that vibrational presence and being that you are is greater than any and all circumstance of this world, and so great, in fact, that you can bring into this world conditions and manifestations that this world in and of itself cannot produce. In other words, the natural world around you that you see is the natural world around you that you see, but the human world that you've seen manifested is something that you brought forth from those unseen places within you. Nothing kills love, because love is what you are. Even if that body ceases to function, you will not cease to exist, but there is responsibility with being awareness. You You must learn to assert authority and dominion over matter, not be subjective to it. You must learn to assert authority and dominion over thought. You must learn to not be subjective to it. You must learn to assert authority and dominion over emotional energy so that you're not subjective to it, so that you take the throne of your creative potential. You take the throne of your creative potential and you organize a world of wonder and beauty based on that which you are, not based upon the fears you've been given from this world, not based upon the doubts that you've been given from this world, not based upon the limitations from that physical form, not based upon the limitations that others have striven to impose upon you. None of these things matter when you recognize the nature of who you are, that you are not those thoughts, you are not those emotions, you are not that body. These are instruments, mechanisms through which you operate. And some of you have come into bodies, and some of you have come into this world at a time when there's so much confusion and uncertainty, forgetting that you are the one that is able to bring certainty to it. You come into a body that's been conditioned with memories from past lives, from the hereditary conditions of the lineage of the family that you've been involved with, biologically speaking. And you have to then deal with what is already in the vehicle. You have to tune it up and clean it up. And then there's those things that you get given, gifted, we might say, gifted from the five senses, what you hear, what you read, what you watch, what you observe, and then you get to sort through that. And hopefully you will learn to come and make independent decisions about what and who you are that is distinct and separate from the thoughts you've been given to accept as your reality, when in fact you came to bring a reality into mind, emotion, and matter that is unique and distinct from mind, emotion, and matter, but which they are subjective to. When I came to this one many years ago, he was deeply entrenched in the understanding that his emotions and his thoughts were the sole form of identifying and recognizing who he thought he was. And when I spoke to him from a place that he could not hear with his ears, but he knew he could hear, he heard, and he took his attention for a brief instant away from these ideas and beliefs that his world had given him. He turned his attention away from them and said, wait, there is something else. This something else feels better. I think I will go to it. And he stepped down from that ledge of that bridge and he made a phone call that I directed him to make. And he walked through that little crack in the door and he began to look for ideas and information and thoughts that were outside of anything he had ever known. Ideas that he had value, that he had a meaning, that he had a purpose. He began to understand that he was more than what he was told he was supposed to be. And each and every human soul on this planet goes through this process of identifying who am I. And you must go through this process. Who are you? Are you those thoughts in your mind? Are you that body exclusively? Are you those emotions? Do you have any control over them? You must go through that process of realizing there is a crack, there is another place for your awareness to focus, from which you can liberate yourself from the acquired suffering that many of you still carry in your minds and in your bodies and therefore in your world around you. You have a choice in every moment. Are you the thinker or are you the thoughts? Are you the emotions or that which generates the energy you call emotions? Are you that body or are you the operator of that form? Whatever your conditions may be, you must make a choice independent of what you are told you are supposed to think in this world. You have to make choices, and have thoughts that are unique and independent of the thoughts and choices you've been conditioned to think you are limited to thinking and making. And this world has given you limited choices, especially this human-made world has given you limited choices. And yet you are a limitless being. Do you realize that? You are a limitless being. And when you step outside the limitations of who you have been made out to be, that personality that is not you, and you step outside the limits of that, a whole new world will open before your very eyes. And you will weep with joy when you realize that your suffering was never necessary and that you never intended it, but you have choice over what it shall be. Thank you. If you are listening carefully, then you know distinctly that the challenge is not that difficult once you understand what to let go of and what to focus your attention on. If you understand that as awareness, this is where the position of free will exists. From the perspective of awareness, the position of free will exists. In your awareness, you can distinguish between what thoughts, what emotions, and what actions are beneficial or not for you. You can discard thoughts. You can alter emotional qualities. You can change physical functions when your awareness, recognizing you have a choice from that perspective of awareness. And there will be moments when you will find certain emotional conditions will appear to be overwhelmingly intense, that you might seem that you have no power whatsoever. But I can assure you that nothing can be further from the truth. That even as the awareness, you are like the surfer on a great wave, that you can observe, wow, this is a very intense emotion, but it is not who I am. It is likely an emotion from my past, something I have brought forward, or something that has been given to me that I have accepted. It is time to let it go, to ride atop of the wave until it breaks upon the beach, the shore of a new life. In other words, you become willing to recognize that even those emotions that seem so incredibly overwhelming are not who you are, merely the specters of a past nature seeking to keep you restricted to the limited old self that you've been told you are supposed to be. But nothing could be further from the truth, for you are limitless love. This is what you are. You are limitless love. But you must come to this awareness that you are. This awareness that you are aware of thoughts, aware of emotion, aware of matter. Without that recognition, it is very difficult to work through thoughts when you believe you are them. It's very difficult to work through emotions if you believe you are them. It's very difficult to work through a body that's got limitations. If you believe you are that body, you cannot change those limitations. But I would say to you quite simply that once you recognize, I am aware of these thoughts, they do not represent who I am. I am aware of these emotions, they do not represent who I am. I'm aware of this body, it does not represent who I am. I can alter my thoughts, I can alter my emotions, I can alter this body. It can be done. No matter how intense, no matter how overwhelming the conditions of your environment or your emotional internalized state or your thought mechanisms are, from the perspective of awareness, you can open the door to what you really are, just starting from that perspective of awareness. These thoughts are not who I am. But I can choose thoughts that would represent who I am. I am love, I am light, I am joy, I'm creativity, I'm playfulness, I'm excitement. You have that option. The same with emotions. When they are there, they are just energy that is in your system, mostly from your past, that you can ride out until you understand that you can ride them out. And when you ride them out and they're done, they will be done. Some of you, when you make this choice to become the awareness and not subjective to the emotions and thoughts, you take that first step towards what we call free will, which is your true nature. Free will is your true nature. And it is only from the perspective of free will that you can begin to institute changes in your mind, in your emotions, and in your world. And the moment you alter mind and emotions, you will be altering your world. This is the reality. There is no thought or emotion you cannot have in that body that does not affect it. And thereby the actions of the body are a specific effect of qualities of thought and emotion that you can be aware of at any time. And so, if you understand what I've just said, you'll realize that as awareness, you can observe your thoughts. You know, like looking at a puzzle, you can look down on all those thoughts in your mind and say, oh, what a mess, or what a wonderful instrument, what lovely thoughts. Whatever way you may look down upon the thoughts up in your mind from the perspective of awareness, you can begin to reorganize them. That does not belong in this mind. That does not belong in this mind. Oh, I want to put this in my puzzle. I want to fill my mind with what I want to observe, what pleases who I am. And then you begin to break the frame and you expand it out and you realize, I can go beyond what anybody or anything has ever told me I can think or believe. And so I say to you, as I said to this one many years ago, and I've said to many times since, love is your essential nature. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not that body. They are instruments of your divine creative process from the perspective of recognizing you are soul awareness interacting with thought, emotion, and matter. You are soul awareness interacting, hopefully consciously, with thought, emotion, and matter. And when I say consciously, I mean in terms of you are aware that you are allowing or not allowing certain thoughts, that you are aware that you can organize, alter, and change certain qualities of emotion. You can transform, transmute, and transcend very precise qualities of emotion. And they in turn affect the conditions of how your cells will carry the instructions of that emotion. For the cellular mechanism is a carrier of emotional energy into the expression of actions. And as you learn to articulate thoughts deliberately and consciously, as you learn to articulate and change and transform emotions deliberately, you are articulating and transforming and changing matter. Even the condition of your heart, or your liver, or your lungs, or your bladder. Yes, you always have this choice. But you must become aware that as awareness, you have choice. If you choose to be subjective to your thoughts and to your emotions, you will have no choice by default. Wow. This is the first time John's come out like this in a long time. Good morning, Drusilla. Hi, Benjamin. Hello, Heather. Good morning, Kira. Hi, Maria. This is my guardian angel, John, with me today. And it's talking about nothing kills love, because love is what you are, right? And literally, John has been a lifesaver for me on multiple occasions. And Archangel Michael as well has come in and intervened in many situations in my life. But love is what you are. It's not something you have to acquire from this world. It's something that you are. When you come to that awareness, you move into a different perspective of creation when you begin to know what you are. Because love, as a consciousness, operates very differently, and nothing can kill you. Things can damage your body. This body can cease to exist, but you as a soul, as awareness, are independent relative to the body. You're separate and independent, but function through it. Understand that matter responds to your awareness. Your thoughts respond to your awareness. If you become subjective to thoughts and matter, you become subjective to awareness. And John led me to a book many years ago called The Psychology of Self-Esteem by Dr. Nathaniel Branden, where the key line in that book that I read was, the question for man isn't to be or not to be. The question for man is to think or not to think. When I read that line for the first time, I never realized until that moment that I'd never thought my own thoughts. And I was 20 years old then, and I didn't realize I could choose my thoughts. I was living with the thoughts of my mother, my father, the teachers, the television shows that I used to watch as a kid were all playing out in my head as if it was my reality. And when I read that line, I am the thinker, not my thoughts, right? The actual statement was, the question for man isn't to be or not to be. The question for man is to think or not to think, which is an excerpt that Nathaniel Branden put in The Psychology of Self-Esteem from one of Ayn Rand's books, who was a mentor of his. So that statement translated into, I am the thinker, I am not my thoughts. And that totally changed my life when I realized I could choose my thoughts. And about 6 months after that, I had an exquisite thought that I never had in my mind before. I had the thought that I'm loving and lovable. I'd never had that thought in my mind before. And so having that thought, I literally danced around shouting that thought out loud. I'm loving and lovable. First time I'd ever thought that when I was 20 years old. Up to that point, I didn't think I was much of anything. I had a belief that I was worthless. As John can tell you, he talked me down off a bridge. So yeah, nothing can kill love. It's what you are. Hi, Ruth. Wonderful. Miracles are real. They certainly are. Good morning, Carolyn. Question from Drusilla. Any messages for me? I feel like I'm missing something. You're not missing anything, but what you need to do is connect. You need to connect to what you are as a being. If you seek to identify the reality of who you are exclusively from this world, you will be challenged. But if you choose to do so from the perspective that you find things in this world that are pleasing to you. But we can assure you that you are missing nothing. For what you are is whole and complete and perfection. What you are is whole and complete and perfection. And this world will not tell you that, for this world is fragmented in many respects, at least the human world. But you are whole and complete in every respect. Now, Lauren's asking, may I have a message? Lauren, I don't know who these beings are. They feel like fairies to me. And they're saying giggling, laughter. Find things that give you laughter. They're showing me like find something on television that makes you laugh. You need to find things that make you laugh today. Really focus on laughter and joy. And then when you got that vibration going, go out to the fairies. They're showing me a marshy area. So go out to a marshy area and connect with them there. Once you get into the vibration of that joy, go out to that marshy area and connect to them. Yeah, there's lots of grass around that marsh. Yes. Cool. Thank you, Lauren. Oh, you're welcome, Drusilla. Yeah, this has been an interesting revelation that nothing kills love. Love is what we are. And one of the hopes I have for all of you is that you realize that. Because I was fortunate enough, and we all have guardian angels. Believe me, we all have guardian angels. We have multidimensional beings that are around us. All we need to do is open our heart to love, to what we are. Open yourself up to what you are as a being of love. You're not those thoughts. You're not that emotion. You're not that body. You are awareness, pure love, seeking to manifest itself into time and space. And your guides and your angels, when you're listening, when you least expect it. Like I said, I was 20 years old. I was standing on the edge of a bridge ready to jump, and he spoke to me. It was the first time I actually heard his voice. And there have been many other times since he's communicated, and those are over these last 2 years, He's guided me a great deal in terms of opening up to the different beings that are here for all of us to learn and grow and evolve from. We don't have to make this world the sole place for where we learn what reality is. This is just a small speck. This planet is just a small speck, right, of what we can learn. And when you start to open your consciousness up beyond what your ears can hear, beyond what your eyes can see, and really listen, I can assure you, you can hear. Most people try to hear them with their ears. No, it's hearing inwardly. And when you look inwardly and you're saying, I need some guidance, you will hear. Do not listen to your old thoughts, your old doubts. Don't listen to those old thoughts. Stop listening to your thoughts. They're not who you are. Become the awareness, observe them. That was a big part of my process, is learning to distinguish between my thoughts and who I am. And for any of you, that simple step of realizing the thoughts are not who I am. This is information I've been programmed to believe. The minute you make that distinction, you move into a new world. And what you'll see, what you will hear, will be different than what your mind has been thinking on automatically for the most part. Most people's minds just run on autopilot. And when you rise above your own thought process that you've acquired, you can start to feel and hear and know. Like they're all around you right now, your guardian angels. Some of you I can feel, some of you got Master Jesus with you, some of you got Buddha with you, some of you got brownies and gnomes, yes. So many different beings that seek to guide us, to connect us to nature, to connect us to vitality and health, to connect us to wisdom and knowledge. Souls live upon many planes. Souls live upon many planes. And there are souls that are visible to our eyes, and there's souls that are invisible to physical eyes, but they're visible to you, who you are as an awareness. My delusion is that you will start to realize that you are so much more than what your thoughts and your emotions would indicate. Your emotions and thoughts, most of them aren't even yours. Most of your thoughts and emotions aren't even yours. They've been given to you. You're welcome, Lauren. The fairies love you. But they stress, make certain that you really get into the spirit of joy before you go out there. Be in that spirit of joy when you go out there. It'll be a lot of fun for you. And please leave a comment in the comment section later when you have a chance. Katya is asking, what am I being guided to do at this time regarding change? Somebody, I don't know who this is, somebody yelled, be fearless. Be fearless. What do you mean by that? Hold your head up, stand straight. Be fearless. There is nothing you cannot be or do from a fearless place. Do not let your fear intimidate you. Many of you are intimidated by fear because it is bombarding you repeatedly. You must not let fear intimidate you from what you know you need to be and do. Be fearless. Wow. Thank you, Katya. Question from Sanyukta. How do we maintain the energy of love if we are surrounded by toxic people? Oh, wow. It's I don't know who this is, but coming with a really sharp pressure on my head here. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eye sharp and open to love. Do not give attention to the suffering that they seek to engage you in. They will draw you into their suffering. Have compassion for them, for they do not even know that they do what they do. Have compassion for them. You will find that compassion is the quickest way to restore yourself to love, to maintain it, especially when you're surrounded by beings that are in their suffering and believing that it is real, believing that they have no control over their thoughts or their emotions or their actions. If you stay connected to your compassion, you will loan an energy to the situation that will facilitate them stepping into a different place of being. For the vibration of compassion is intimately connected to love, for one must be connected to love to be able to connect to compassion. They do not know what they're doing. They do not know why they're even thinking or doing what they're doing. Have compassion for them. They're like the passengers in the own vehicle of their car, and there's nobody driving. have compassion, and you will find that you will restore yourself to love. And when we say compassion, we don't mean to pity them. We mean to have compassion for them, to truly understand that they do not know that they do not know, and that you do know that they are operating from a place that limits them from seeing and knowing who they are. Do not get caught up in who you are not because they are. Have compassion for them. Have compassion for them. And you will find the freedom that you seek in staying connected to love through that, in that context that you presented. This is the context that you presented to us. Those people that you know that are toxic around you, and your ability to stay compassionate, understanding they do not know that they are perpetuating their own suffering. How would you feel if you saw an animal caught in a trap and its paw is wounded? You would not be upset or angry with it. You have compassion. You'd seek to liberate it, to release it from its trap. And even the animal, when you approach it to release it from its trap, might try to bite you because it fears that you're going to hurt it further. It might not even know you're seeking to extend your love and your gratitude and your compassion towards it. But compassion and loving you must be. You will see. To maintain that level of awareness, of beingness, will generate wondrous miracles around you with much less effort than you have been using to try and convince them of another truth. The nature of being, a certain vibration around people will affect changes in them. You may even sit in a chair in your private space and radiate your love and compassion out to them deliberately and intentionally and observe what occurs. You do not have to be overt to create changes in matter, because it is the unseen that you are that affects the seen that you observe in matter. Wow, thank you for that. Great. Question from Vertical Connection. When you recently spoke of empathy, I suddenly realized I am an empath too. Is it true that by identifying and recognizing it, you somehow start overcoming it already? Yes. The moment you start to recognize that thoughts and emotions are something that you are aware of, the very nature of becoming aware that you're aware of them begins to reconnect you to what you are as awareness, which is love. Love is what you are. It's what every single human being on this planet came into this dimension as. You came in as love. The conditions of your environment, the programming you received from your environment, gave your mind, your body, and your emotional field certain preconditions. But the minute you start to become aware of and examine these thoughts, examine these beliefs, these ideas, you move out of being subjective to them, and then you're in the position to begin to originate changes into the system. That becomes very, very exciting. And then you can do the same thing where you recognize, oh, I'm picking that anger up from that person. I'm picking up fear from that person. I'm going to extend love back to them for that. You move into a place of deliberately and consciously selecting and choosing what you will feel. Because most people try to sort things out on the level of mind. You know, Einstein said something really profound. He said, a problem cannot be solved at the level which created it. Think about that. A problem cannot be solved at the level of creator. If the problem is at mind, you cannot solve it at mind. You have to go above mind. And in this case, the quality of your being, the vibration you emanate as a being, as love, as joy, as peace, as compassion, to align yourself to that vibrational awareness. And then to deliberately, intentionally bring that vibrational awareness down into matter and put that towards others. You are using the invisible realm that creates and maintains the visible realm. It's not the other way around. The invisible maintains the visible. The visible does not maintain the invisible. Your thoughts are invisible, are they not? The fact that your heart beating right now is invisible, the agent that causes your heart to beat is invisible, but it's causing that effect. The invisible organizes the visible. So as an empath, yes, the moment you are aware of this emotional quality, now you are not the emotional quality, you are aware of it. Oh, I'm aware of anger, I'm aware of fear, I'm aware of terror, I'm aware of whatever that emotion is. Once you're aware of it, you go, I'm going to restore love to this. I'm going to bring love to this. And the moment you bring the vibrational quality of love to that, you'll transcend it. But if you seek to resolve the problem at the level that exists on, that of mind or that of emotion, if you try to use force, you will not overcome that which you're initiating force on. From the perspective of awareness, you can transcend the effects of thought and emotion, but you cannot transcend the conditions of thought and emotion in your identification or subjectivity to them. You can only then work with the thoughts that you're believing that you are, or the emotions that you believe that you are, but from the perspective of awareness, you can transcend them, and even those of others. Even those of others. Thank you. Ruth, thank you for that donation. I appreciate that. Miracles are real. Ruth is saying miracles are actually a natural phenomena of what you are in your essence. If you are so connected to the incredible, beautiful, loving being that is you, you will witness miracles as natural phenomena of every instant of your life will be a delight when you are able to consciously and deliberately be in that vibration of what you are as a soul, which is love, and you're able to bring that vibration into mind, into body, into action, and you embody what you are into that mind and that body. Miracles are natural phenomena of what you are. I love it. Thank you, Ruth. Question from Tanya. I found a baby raven yesterday. I'm taking care of it in divine order. I'm just being given those words, divine order. I'm taking care of it now. Have always felt very connected to ravens. Is there a message from the Raven Kingdom for me? Divine order is the message, Tanya. Divine order. Wow. Wonderful. So nothing can kill love, and love is what you are. Now, the body that you're in has an identity. In this case, your identity might be Ruth or Carolyn or Joseph or Mary. That might be the identification of that body, but that's not who you are. You are the awareness that can inhabit it. And when that body ceases to function, then the personality that you have been operating through will cease to exist, and you'll be a different quality of awareness as a result of your experience in this particular container. But you as awareness are pure love. That will always be the case. And you are always free to alter and change the different constructs of what you are as an energy. I want to thank all of you for your contributions and your donations today. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I want to thank my guardian angel, John, for being present with us today. Thank you so much for being in my life. I am so grateful. And I'm so grateful for all the guardian angels and other beings that work in our lives. We really need to realize we are not alone in this dimension, ever, ever. And when you awaken to what you are, you'll know that's true. Many of you already know that are watching this show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with other people. I've got a goal of trying to reach 2,000 subscribers before the end of this month. And that's how I think I need like 200 subscribers. But between now and then, that's a goal I'm setting to get to 2,000 this month. So to whatever degree you can assist in that process, please get other people to come out and subscribe or watch the videos. I would love that. That'd be great. That's a great goal. And I think we can achieve it. If you want to support this work, you can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. There's also a link on any of my videos to my Patreon link there. Also, for those of you, any of my repeat students or students from previous courses, we also have my Mediumship 102 program starting this Saturday. So for those of you that want to let go of your old, past, dense emotional energies, please come and join us for Mediumship 102. You can go and get all the details on my website, williammichaelforbes.com. This Mediumship 102 program is life-changing. And we got amazing mediums working with us in this program. Norma Jones, Chico, we've got Desiree, we've got Joe, we've got Michael, we've got some really wonderful people, Christy. These are all beings that are incredible mediums. They'll help you on the journey with us. So I hope we'll see you on Mediumship 102 program. Have yourselves a wonderful, a joyful day, and thank you for showing up. Thank you for your time, your patience, and most of all, your love. Bye for now. Love you guys.